scoop a pound or so of coffee and just distribute it, knowing that any of the excess falls on that clean stainless steel tray and can be recycled. And then you'll need a little device to level it out. We found you don't need to pack these down. If you fill them up pretty close to the rim, it's going to be a sufficient amount of coffee with this particular grind that we have to easily do a 10-ounce cup that will be full and rich flavored and not taste watery. Of course, for those who want strong coffee, they can either set their coffee maker at strong or just make a smaller cup. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. After your trays have been filled and basically leveled out, you'll want to begin sealing. You'll want to, of course, gear up for that, wearing the sanitary gloves, disposable gloves, and hairnet, or whatever your city or area requires. I personally do not like these types of gloves. I would highly recommend the rubber gloves without the powder that are used in the medical field, just because you can get a much better grip on your equipment. So when you're going to fill your machine, your sealing machine, if you haven't had somebody already level up the cup, you'll want to level it off so that there's very little or none on the lip of the lid, which is where it seals at. And you simply fill up the maker on the standard size cups with 4. You take your lids, make sure you put the label the right way up. Of course, that's simple if you've got the ones with a design, logo, or name on it. Put them in between the 3 little posts so that they will seal properly. And one thing I also want to mention, mainly because we've had a couple customers have a problem, is make sure your timer is set to 2 seconds or slightly under. Some are in the shipping process, these are getting turned. You simply turn it with your hand, and they're sealing them for longer than 2 seconds or less than 2 seconds. And if it's less than 2 seconds, it won't seal properly. If it's longer, it's going to cause the cup to melt and possibly even some of the plastic to melt onto the heating surface. Real simple process. You pop that in, you pop it down, you hold it for the 2 seconds, the light goes off, you pull it out. You can pop these out from underneath. Yes, the lids will be hot. They just were at 370 degrees Celsius. But as you can see, they're very well solid, sealed to it. And then continue your process of sealing the cup. In a few moments, we'll show you how you can label beyond what we showed you earlier, as well as bag or box. But I did want to mention one other thing. In the all-cup kit that you get a Nespresso, the small espresso type cups, with 1,000 of the cups and lids with this plate. This is about a $500 plate in of itself if it were to be designed and built in the United States. Our normal price is $250. With the kit, you'll find it's an incredible package. 1,000 of the end style cups, 1,000 of the regular style cups, both the 4-cup sealing plate and the 6-cup. And this just, all you do is you loosen these bolts, pull them out, and then insert that in, then tighten the bolts down in from the back, and you're ready to do the espresso style cups. And we'll show you a little bit about that in a couple minutes. I did want to show you something about the standard foil size lids, and this is whether you're using the full cup or the espresso style cup. One side, if you get one that's not printed and it's just foil, one side is very glossy and one of them is matte. The matte always goes down on the cup. That's where the sealing with the cup comes into place. And I'm going to make a couple of these because I'm going to show you how There are certain brewers that do not work with the foil size cups, but then we're going to show you a brewer that works with every style cup, no matter what you use. So whatever you're using on the market, we're going to highly, of course, recommend that brewer, but we're going to make available to all ones that work for all cups. I did just want to show you one thing before we go on to talk about the espresso part, is if you don't get these labels in between the prongs, you'll end up with something like this, which is a ruined cup. Even with this, it wasn't completely in with the three prongs, and so therefore it melted part of the cup on the top, which will possibly melt onto the heating tray, which if you do that, you'll need to take a paper towel and wipe that off. So be careful when you get in the production mode. You don't get so fast that you get careless with how you put your lids on. We now want to talk to you a little bit about the espresso single serving cup makers and how you could fill for that. These cups come with their own built-in filter. Keep in mind that espresso is an art in of itself, and you may want to do a little research if you're not familiar with it on the types of coffee that taste best as espresso, the blends. There's much to be learned about the blends. These hold about 5 grams of coffee, so you can get 90 to 100 per pound, so a really profitable market considering these cost less than 15 cents with the lid, and so they sell for in the range of 60 to 90 cents a piece. And so there's actually, with the opening of this market in America and a lot of famous actors advertising the product, we expect this espresso single cup market to really grow. So use an espresso type grind. We're using the kind that's more with the steam grinder. In my Swiss grinder, it's a number 4. It's not the same as a pump, which would mix, which would be 3. And again, you're simply just either filling it from the scoop, or you may find it more practical to fill with a spoon or a small instrument. Some people tamp it down a little bit. You can try different methods and see what works best for you. We encourage you to experiment a little bit with this as you develop it to make sure you get the best blends of coffee, the best grind, and the best fill. To change out your AZ Allmaker to use the espresso style 6 cup from the 4 cup manual, you simply use a pair of pliers and a hexagonal wrench, pliers to hold the bottom, a hexagonal wrench to loosen the seal. Once you loosen the seal, these screw off really easy. That's how you take the 4 cup standard style serving cup tray out, and just make sure you don't lose the washer and the nut. Set it aside, get both of them out, then it slides right in. Once you get your unit installed, your 6 cup tray, then you can plug the unit back in, and using the set button, it allows you to do the arrow up or arrow down. We want you to set that to 180 Celsius because the plastic on the end style espresso cups requires a little more heat. So let that preheat. Once your machine's heated up, the process of sealing the espresso style cups is about the same. Put them all in place, make sure the edges are clean. The shiny part of the label goes up, which maybe you've stamped with your logo or brand. And you simply make sure they all go down in between the 3 posts so that the seal is proper. And other than the fact that your temperature is now on 180, or will be on 180, the process is basically the same. Make sure your timer is set for 2 seconds, and then you push it in and seal. Our machine is preheated up to 180 Celsius. Put the shelf in, put it down for the 2 seconds. The timer will indicate that it's sealed. You might notice I did not have that cup in very well, but surprisingly it's sealed well anyway. So there you go. You can check the first couple. If it seems like they're not sealing properly, then you might need to make a slight modification on the timer, but you shouldn't need to make a modification on the temperature. Keep in mind that when these seal, there still may be a little lip in between the seal, because if you look at these cups, the place that it seals is more on the inside of the cup. So don't let that bother you. And you should be able to soon be enjoying an espresso style coffee.